guys, welcome back to VCT Game Changers, Southeast Asian Series FSL, the league that's all about growing the competitive women's gaming scene and seeing how women in esports change the game. It's us, your host, Jenny Richu Lee, your analyst on the desk for today, Jace, as well as Donut. And of course, once again, this FSL Elite is brought to you by our sponsor Intel, supported by official media partner Yahoo, also official chair partner Secret Lab, and joining us this time around our Nanoleaf panels as well. Guys, we had a pretty exciting best of three earlier today. How do we feel coming into this next one?
I think that all predictions are now out the window. We've seen a lot of changes in a lot of these teams, and what we expect jumping into this next one, we might see Big Scythe have a huge improvement. We might see Mad Army falter or do even better than we saw them do before. So it really is all up in the air, and I'm actually really excited to see this matchup.
Yeah, given the team lineup of Mad Army now, we've heard a lot of news about them that they've been clawing their way up to the top. So I'm really expecting quite a lot of a fight from Big Scythe up against Mad Army. So it's going to be an interesting matchup between the two.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're going to take a look at the rosters for both these teams. Why don't you guys pick a team, walk us through it?
Well, for Big Scythe, we all know that they've always been at the very top of the leaderboard for FSL for throughout all of the opens. But right now, we're seeing Big Gwen and Crollo, Chasiu, Hisoka, and really Crescents being the main team for Big Scythe. And given all of the combinations or all of the skills right now, I feel like they have a lot to give in terms of really going against Mad Army. A lot of the people we've heard about Mad Army, them being maybe getting up to that top three spot. But for Big Scythe now, they have a lot to go up against, especially with Muffin and Anko here in the picture, and as well as Baby TZ. I think they have quite a big barrier that they have to really chip through.
That's right. We do also, of course, have the addition of Ginny jumping into the fray here, and Polly as well. And I mean, they've already been putting out those stats, right? They've had amazing games so far. And I think that we can expect them to have an equal performance today here as well. I mean, they've got like 100% win rates on more maps than any other team. And we've seen them be super consistent, non-stop for ages now. And so I'm expecting them to have a really good performance here as well. You got a couple of players here that are really, really dependable. And like, I mean, Anko's got 5 MVPs, but that doesn't mean that Anko's the one that can perform. You got Baby TZ, you got Polly, you got Muffin. All of them have got MVPs, and they've all got such a high win rate on each of their preferred agents as well. You got your Rainers, your Vipers, your Cyphers, and your Sovas, respectively. And Mad Army have just been on an absolute tear. They're a full tie team, and they have no in-game leader. Supposedly, I think they probably play as a bit of more of a I'd say community. It's a democracy, and they play together. Wherein whoever's got the best idea should be putting their ideas forward. And well, we'll see if how that affects the team moving forward, and how important having a dedicated IGL can be. Of course, they do have a coach. Svarog is going to be he's come from Thailand as well, and this is the first team that he's ever coached for. So he's also here to prove himself along with his team. And so far, the results have been good, and I expect more great things to come from Mad Army here today as well.
Yeah, the slot for Mad Army was really taken from Wildcard, so they might be really built a little bit late throughout all of the FSL Opens, but they have a lot to give right now. And against Big Scythe, who won their slot here in FSL Elite during overtime, we can really see how they are able to really get in all of those insights. As you mentioned, Jaeger, that of course having that full-blown coach, a new one to say the least, is really going to be a challenge, but they did prepare for FSL Elite for quite some time now, so it's going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a really exciting matchup. I think the way I think a lot of us are seeing it is that Mad Army, they're kind of that mechanically, individually very skilled super team that's kind of built for FSL Elite, whereas Big Scythe a bit more of the underdog team coming in. We've really only seen them qualify through the later stages of the FSL circuit. But right now, over on your screens, we've got the player feature. It's going to be Anko versus Gwen. What do we think?
Yeah, we've seen Anko play a lot on that Reyna, and surprisingly, the Yoru, probably more Yoru picks than any other player we've had in any tournament ever, which is it's an interesting fact to boast because Yoru still not part of the meta, had a really difficult time finding Yoru's place. And so I think that the fact that Anko can make that work is super surprising, but most of those have been on the Reyna and putting up some phenomenal stats. Meanwhile, on the other side, you do have Gwen. Gwen has been putting up some stats as well, also playing on that Reyna as well. This is a Reyna versus Reyna diff challenge, basically. And right now, the stats are favored towards Anko, but that doesn't mean Gwen can't surprise us today. She plays that Raze as well, which means she knows how to do movement. And, I mean, the stats speak for themselves. It's a small difference, and I think that maybe perhaps today Gwen can overcome those odds. But Anko, she's a difficult wall to climb over.
Yeah. In terms of really Gwen being that anchor for the team, not just really as a player, as an agent role, but basically a lot of the teams really are rooting for Gwen to be able to create a lot of those strategies for the team because Gwen is really insightful and she has a lot to give in terms of all of the plays in terms of countering Mad Army, in terms of the firepower, especially as you mentioned, Jaeger. They need to really chip through and maybe climb that wall over.
All right, I think we have the map picks for this next series. It looks like it's going to be Ascent, Icebox, and then Bind if the series does go to all three maps. And I kind of want to say that Big Scythe really winning in the draft just because we haven't really seen Big Scythe have all too big of a map pool. So traditionally, like Ascent is for sure their best map, and then maybe Bind or Icebox. This time around in the best of three, they've managed to actually nab all three maps that they're strong on. So, what do we think?
Well,
I
for the map of Ascent, it's really going to be 100% win rate for the team of Mad Army. They've only played a couple of games, but this is also the best map of Big Scythe. So I'm expecting a little bit of maybe overtimes for both of the teams because they're playing their best map. And for the map of Icebox, it's going to be what? Also, one of the best win rate for the team of Mad Army. But right now, looking at the picks of Mad Army, what do you think about this, Jace?
uh, like okay, I don't because I've seen teams do this in the past, and I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying there's a possibility here. There's a chance that Mad Army are challenging themselves because I've seen teams just go onto maps that they avoid at
Choose
all
your
costs,
agent.
just to prove themselves. They've avoided Icebox and Split at all costs and a number of stages in this tournament. And Big Scythe, they've had a lot of bad luck on every map that wasn't Ascent. So yeah, they're jumping onto Ascent. They've had a big win rate here in Ascent as well, so it favors both teams. But going on to the two maps we have left, Icebox and Bind, yeah, they work for Mad Army. That Icebox really doesn't. And Big Scythe, they haven't been great on Icebox, but they haven't been particularly bad either. So yeah, I think that basically between these two teams, it does favor Mad Army a bit, but they've challenged themselves by hitting that Icebox.
All right, real quick before we bring Kentrell back for the games, what are predictions for the series? Who's going to win? What's the score going to be? Jace, you want to go first? Sorry, I'm always putting you on the spot first.
You have to answer as well, though. Okay, I
I
don't
will.
want to sound.
Okay.
I don't want to sound terrible. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going 2-0 Mad Army, just so you don't have to sound terrible when you say it, because I have a feeling that's also what you're going to predict.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely have to, based on the stats, based on how they performed in the past, based on the players and everything else. There's a lot riding on Mad Army getting that 2-0, and it's a big challenge for Big Scythe to take one of these maps off. So yeah, I'm leaning towards that 2-0 for Big Scythe.
Donut?
I will have to say it's going to be a 2-1 because Ascent is going to be such a tricky map for both of the teams because in terms of the win rate, they've all given it all in terms of this map. So I think the first map can go to Big Scythe, but the rest of the two maps can go to Mad Army just because, of course, of the stats that were shown earlier.
All right, so score line a bit different, but we all looking for that Mad Army win. Here to bring you guys the action to join the Donut is going to be Kentril. Hey, I'm Quack, guys. Take it away.
The game's already started. How are we feeling about this, Donut? It's gonna be a crazy one, and I think Ascent, yeah, you know what? The Thai teams really love their Ascents, and although you guys might think that Mad Army are challenging themselves with Icebox, I feel like this could be their map as well. Honestly, I wanted to see Fracture from Big Scythe, but I guess it's just not meant to be. Right now already, though, we do have Big already on the attacking side in towards B, and actually a lot of control. Mad Army are giving this up because they want to play that retakes game, Nano Swarm, and all of a sudden we're down to 4 remaining players.
And that's going to be big. Going big here against 5 of the team members because there's going to be kills here by Amori and Presence with her own as well. But now Polly, she's creeping her way towards the site, and that's going to be just Presence remaining. She's gonna be tagged by those shock darts, and just Polly here, she needs to get 1 kill first, but there's going to be a double peek here against Mad Army, so that's going to be big, going big with the first point, and the pistol round goes to them.
Incredible attacking side. I mean, they just pushed in. They might have lost a player at the start, but whatever it was, they managed to get the spike down in time. They managed to set themselves up for those defensive positions, and as soon as Mad Army try to walk in, they're just walking into their crosshairs, and that's the strength of Big Scythe. They are clearly the underdogs here, but I don't want to doubt them at all because they can still bite. Underdogs still have a bite, and that's kind of what they're going for right now. This time in towards the A side of the map, maybe more of a split, but as soon as that peak happens, Polly gets taken out. So losing tree control, and right now maybe A main as well. No, actually that's not gonna happen because of the shorties and the classic right clicks. All of a sudden it becomes an all-out deathmatch because they need to retrieve that spike, which is so well defended by Mad Army right now. They've picked up the Spectres, and Akko's doing such a great job of dancing back and forth, but unfortunately for her, Crescent still has hers. And now last player remaining is going to be Baby TC with a shorty. She gets the one, she gets the double! Oh my god, that's the thrifty Nano Leaf clutch! What just happened?
What? What was that? They were just going big with all of these weapons. Like, look at this. Anko getting the first kill and picking up that Spectre. And now Muffin, and as well as Baby TZ getting those kills. I mean, that was just 200 credits, but that was what? A big round for them. Because now Big Scythe, they don't have enough going into these couple of rounds. They have a Sheriff, but they're going against these rifles, these very, very powerful rifles against Mad Army.
That was amazing. Honestly, it's a different kind of trigger discipline as well with that thing, because she could have just fired 2 shots off her shorty real quick, but instead she went for that 1-2 punch, and right now it's gonna be Muffin. She already has her Vandal, and she's starting to pop off, but Crescent shuts that down for the time being. Yamori trying to support her teammate. Unfortunately, not good for enough because this middle zone is a big firing range. Anko is just looking for these heads to pop, and she's gonna get them.
It's like Mad Army is saying, okay, we may lose the pistol round, but we are able to get back strong. And looking at this mid control by the team of Mad Army, like Muffin just hitting her shots across mid lane, and she was saved by the bell here by Baby TZ and that peek from Anko as well. So this is the type of team play that we want to see from Big Scythe as well, because it's like Mad Army, they've got each other's backs. And right now, Big Scythe, they have to win this round in order to get the momentum back in their favor, because they have this buy, and if they lose it again, they may be able to get maybe a thrifty round as well. But right now, it's going to be Gwen here. Try to push forward towards mid. But Polly, she actually tags somebody through that smoke. That was just really more of a blind tag here by that owl drone. Now they know that they're playing towards mid. And right now there's going to be this encounter, but Polly there with that Guardian gets the head of Gwen, and Sin as well getting presence. No more controller for the side of Big Scythe. And it's going to be quite a hard take here as they push through a tree.
That's absolutely detrimental, right? You lose your controller and all of a sudden you cannot use your vision anymore, so it's that much more difficult to break into sight. But thankfully, I guess they kind of got Yamori, aka Krolo. She's got those clubbers, but only one more remaining. She pops it again. Unfortunately for her, it's always going to be that trade. So 1v3 situation right now. She's trying to find these heads, but unfortunately, dashing in towards the open side. Maybe a little bit of an overestimation, but she was just trying to keep herself alive. But every single time, every single play they make, Mad Army already know where she's gonna be. So it's just that easy, quick elimination. 3-2-1 Donut. I mean, what does Big need? Because they've lost that round. Now they're into an eco. Do you think this Thrifty could happen? Because I don't.
Well, it really is up to the first pickoffs for the team of Big. If Muffin peeks here again towards mid link, that's gonna be scary for them. But right now, at least, they have the Blade Storm available for Yamori. But Anko here, she is gonna break through. But Chazzy actually gets the first pickoff, and this is their opportunity to make this a thrifty round in their favor. But right now, it's also Muffin with that Blade Storm.
What?
She knows one is towards those tiles, and they're rotating towards A. But it's just going to be Sin there as well, just waiting for them through that one-way smoke. So this is gonna be creepy. Not unless they peek all together, all three of them. It's going to be that situation. But that well gets her. Two already. Crescents may get that trade, but it's not gonna be enough. As we see here, she's gonna get flanked here by Muffin, and that's gonna be one shot to the head. That was almost a thrifty round, hopefully for Big, but it doesn't really happen for them. As you mentioned, it's Mad Army with the firepower, and Big isn't able to really respond well. Yes, Crescents did get that trade, but it wasn't just enough. Perfect timing for that gravity well, and that's going to be what? A firepower. The use of the utilities for Mad Army is such stellar performance now. And Big, they have to again win this round, or else they'll be in that doom of terror of saving and buying and saving and buying.
Yeah, right. You definitely don't want to do that. Buy, save, buy, save. It's a Great Depression all over again. But whatever it is, this time they're trying to pull off some big plays. The executes in towards the B site. The smokes are good for now, and Mad Army are respecting that, but they're counting on the fact that their nanoswarms are going to stall for as long as possible. You can see the rotations already coming in, so you can get the spike down, but how long can you hold the site, really? You got Anko on the operator. She has her Empress up as well, so if she wants to dance all over the battlefield, she could. And here it comes, Defender lockdown. They're basically trapped inside, but thankfully they've got Chase U to stop this madness. She takes away the lockdown, and then a counter one comes in. Crescent's going with a double kill as well. All that's left is Sinye, and she's not gonna be able to make any plays happen. Not today. The flawless secret lap victory for Big Scythe.
Yeah, they tried going B this time because they had no success towards the A site. They tried controlling mid, but it's a good thing that they decided to go B because the only thing that's stopping them are the utilities of Baby TZ. But they know how to counter this, maybe because they went in during the pistol round. They know where the traps are. So what they did is just really push through, and that Hunter's Fury from Chazzy, just the perfect timing to try and delay the push from Mad Army. But is this going to be enough? Because we see her Muffin with this operator. That's gonna be scary. But she's also backed up by one of the members here by Mad Army. So at least there will be that trade, and just in case she misses. But historically, Muffin doesn't really miss, though.
Oh, yeah, she does not. The top two duelists, Anko and Muffin. If she's down, Anko will be there to step it up, and at the same time, you got Sinye. Unfortunately for them, though, that star's not going to be good anymore because they've given up the spot of A main. So playing it from a back foot, they actually just might be able to lock this down because of the strength that the operator provides. Anyone who walks in, if the shot connects, they are dead. Oh, but this time she missed. The paranoia was good as well, but just as soon as it dissipates, she goes back in for the repeat. Is getting a lot more kills as well. The trades are trying to occur, but unfortunately for Big, it's gonna be Scythe, Mad Army pushing it from Tree. Crescent's the last one alive again. She's trying to isolate the duels, but unfortunately, with the whiffed headshot initially, it's going to allow for Polly to come back in off of a swing, and right now, 5-2 is the scoreline.
Big has to also take care of the flanks, because it was Polly who got the kill against Crescents here. So it's going to be possible that they need to be able to take care or either take their time in terms of really isolating the duels. But I think there were two situations already wherein they got flanked. It was the first one by Baby TZ just going through tree, and then that second one wherein Polly got that kill. So it's either they do want to take their time. Ooh, this is what's happening now for Big. But in terms of the time is also maybe a loss for them because of these flanks that Mad Army are doing.
Yeah, right? Like, timing is of the essence right now. Every time they actually push up front, Big side, they are creating bits of space, but the one problem is that they're not fully capitalizing off of it. They are allowing for players like Muffin to use the map as a jungle gym. Just updrafting over to the top of that obstacle, she's able to find yet another angle onto the players. If Big Scythe actually pushed in along with the space that they created, they could have run them down, but here it is. They try to push the speedway, and Baby TZ is being the strong anchor. Every angle you try to peek, she's gonna take you down, but this time, Yamori takes her down, but now she's stuck. 1v4 between a rock and a hard place. She's able to take one more player down, but Uncle! Peekaboo from B-Main.
Yeah, I mean, what we mentioned during the panel is that there's going to be that big wall. And right now, in terms of the game, the wall is Baby TZ here in the B side. And as you see how she holds that angle, she really knows where the heads will be. And that's going to be quite scary. Although, yes, Yamori did get that trade, but that was really too late. Because she was going against, of course, another flank here by Agco. And they have to be a little bit more careful about these. Right now, Mad Army has a 4-round deficit. And how Big is going to win this may be quite tricky now because Muffin gets a kill with an operator.
Yeah, they gotta respect that thing. It's a big boomstick. And every time they try to peek into it, Muffin's there to stop them. So they need to be a little bit more careful and get some information before they make these plays, because pushing into mid now is a very, very scary and precarious thing. They're trying to gain some control over Tree, which could allow them to push in towards A, but without that much secure control. They haven't taken Sinye down yet, and that's why, even if they push onto Scythe, they are unable to get the spike down. It's been dropped over by A main, and right now, Crescent's last one alive. It's still not going to happen. They managed to take Sinye down, but even without the flawless victory for Mad Army, it's still a very devastating loss for Big Scythe.
Yeah, they decided to go A because they thought that Baby TZ will be the one anchoring B, but surprise, surprise, it will be Baby TZ there, as well as the rest of the team members of Mad Army, really guarding that A site. So that was quite impossible, given that it was just a thrifty round for Team Big. But yeah, Muffin with that operator, she is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, we've been seeing her really get those first pickoffs, and that's going to be valuable for Mad Army moving forward. Big, they tried to respond as well, but this timeout might be vital for them to try and take a refresh, a reset now, because they have that full buy. But how do they make use of these weapons is the question. In terms of the utility, yes, they use it to try and enter towards the site, but you know how the double peaks are set up for Mad Army? It's really quite impossible to try and get in towards a site. So the only success that they've had earlier was the pistol round and also that rush towards that B site. But Mad Army, they're adjusting pretty quickly to how Big is taking these sites.
Exactly right. You see it happen on the minimap all the time. They're just that fast. And right now, even with the timeouts, I don't know how much that can actually provide. They need to figure out some different way to basically choke Mad Army out, prevent them from getting this map control, prevent them from going in with the quick rotations and retakes. But Oh man, that is harsh. Yamori was holding the angle with her operator as well, but unfortunately, Muffin just out-opt her. So with that gone, Gwen tries to replace her, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Anko in towards mid as well. Any movement they make, Anko's going to hear all of this. Oh, she hears those footsteps. There it is.
And she knows somebody's towards that lane, but Anko gets the second already against Chazu. So nobody walks through mid because Anko will be there to respond. So she spots out these 2 members here, and she'll make that call. Right now, it's going to be a push here now by Baby TZ. She tries to get control of that lobby, but is it going to be enough now for Big? Because anywhere that they peek, there's going to be Muffin's operator. There's going to be rifles as well for Polly. So this is quite scary. So I think the time that they're taking now is quite smart. If and when they decide to go B though, I think they're just going to opt for that save because that bomb is exposed. There's nothing that they can do at the moment. But save this operator. This is going to be helpful for them.
It's pretty scary. When did Muffin get up there? How?
10 seconds
and
left.
Then if someone pushes in, if Gwen doesn't connect the shot, Muffin's gonna come down, and she's gonna come down hard. Now they're trying to push in to take that operator away from Gwen. She whiffs it. She's down, and then Hisoka falls. It's Mad Army all over again. We're at an 8-2. And Mad Army, by the way, MAD stands for Make a Difference, and they are certainly making a difference right now. 11-6 on Muffin.
If you decide to save all of those weapons, the last 4 seconds, there was just that push. That decision to take those guns away from Big Scythe is going to be what makes a difference now. Because it's 8-2, as you mentioned, a big difference in terms of the score line. But right now, in terms of A control, again, this is going to be Muffin with that operator. And the rest of the team members of Big Scythe, they're going to walk in onto with this. Well, this is going to be a crossfire now. Anko with this Phantom. And Muffin with that operator. This is going to be scary.
Yamori's got knives, though. If she can somewhat pre-aim the angle, take Muffin down, react quicker than her, it could happen, but that's a very big could. I mean, right now, Anko going in for the peek. She gets shut down by Gwen, and there it is. Control has been granted. They spot Muffin out. She's trying to hold the angle, but Muffin's just that much quicker. Hisoka gets one down towards mid, though, so that could be the gap, and that is why they are rotating back towards top mid right now. If they can make it down really quickly and take Baby TZ down, that could have been very different, but there it is. It's the one frag that Baby TZ was looking for, the spike being dropped. And all of a sudden, they have the advantage, not just in terms of timing or numbers, but in terms of positioning as well. They know exactly where the big players could be. Of course, it's going to be market. Of course, it's going to be bottom mid. And right now, the door being shut is just going to give them all that much more information to deal with. Baby TZ is just going to have to hold this angle. They push in, maybe they get the spike down, but then what?
Yeah, that's going to be the spike plant down, but is it going to be enough to make this a clutch? Because Baby TZ, she has her lockdown, and she is going to use it to get control of this site. So Yamori, she has to make it big here as well with that Blade Storm. But she knows, she gets the head of...
Come on, yes!
She gets the second with Baby TZ, and that's going to be just Muffin left alone. She needs to be able to catch this out. She is gonna go big with this diffuse though, and Yamori, she doesn't have enough time. There's going to be that updraft. She's gonna be there to distract Muffin, but is it going to be enough? The spike has already been halved, and well, Yamori is making it happen as well, but it is gonna go big with that clutch. Muffin gets the third, and also that nano leave clutch.
Last round before the switch.
Yamori did everything that she could. She wanted to just maybe distract that person from defusing, but this is what's big now. Unfortunately, there was just not enough time to destroy that lockdown.
Just not enough. She made it so quick back through Speedway as well, just in time to maybe distract Muffin a little bit further, but unfortunately, the classic shots weren't quite hitting. Maybe a dink or two, but this is just not quite there. No kill. So now, 9-2. It's the last round of the first half. If they don't take this, if Big Scythe don't take this, it's going to be 9-3. And you know, that's going to be, I mean, it's going to be 10-2. That's going to be a lot more difficult to come back from.
You should
And right now, Muffin's still on towards her operator. Yamori with hers. I don't know if she can actually outduel this girl. But at the same time, they deployed that lockdown to maybe bait a rotation. Still, though, while it seems like Mad Army might have bitten this bait for the time being, Big Side needs to be really, really quick. I mean, they're still in towards A main, and the spike hasn't been planted yet. If, I mean, who's that? Sinye makes it onto A side first, that could be difficult for them to
planted.
The good thing about this is at least they were able to get the plant down, but it's going to be Muffin and Anko getting the kills, and that's going to be the showstopper shut down here by Muffin's Blade Storm, and it's just now up to Crescents. Unfortunately, there are 3 more that she has to take down, and that's going to be, what, at 10-2, as you mentioned, and that's going to be so hard to climb up by Big Scythe.
just terrifying.
Switching
10-2 is the end of the first half. And I don't know about how you folks at home feel watching this, but I feel terrified. This is a quote from Big Scythe when we asked them to kind of like give us some promotional material, sort of. We asked them if they had anything to say, and the quote that they had, it's on our Facebook, on FSL's Facebook page. It's respect all, fear none. But right now, I think they need the opposite of that because they look a little bit paralyzed with fear. You see how they're actually able to create space and they actually managed to bait those rotations over. But because they're afraid that Mad Army might have an anchor on side or two, the way they're approaching the sides, it's way too slow. They're checking the angles, they're making it very slow, and even if they get on site, they get the spike down, the rotations from Mad Army are already underway. They need to disrespect the Mad Army, but I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. Gwen going to toss out and paint shells in towards B main to maybe buy a little bit of extra time, block off that area a little bit. But the rotations are already headed towards A, and you can see that tree is completely open.
Yeah, they decided to give the site away just so that they can control A main. So this is going to be a powerful position for them as long as they get Muffin. But this is going to be a push towards Heaven instead of going through back to the site. But that's going to be at least Crescent's getting that kill. So they know where Crescent's currently is. But right now, in terms of their pathing towards the site, that's going to be scary because there are 3 people now towards that part of the site. At least they were able to get the plant down. That was kind of risky, at least for Mad Army, but they make it happen. They make a big difference in terms of these strats that they do, in terms of the push. And at least there is one that was tagged by that Recon Bolt, but I don't think it's going to be enough because they have to go through the wall of 3 for Mad Army, and that's going to be Polly and Baby TZ getting kills of their own, and it's a pistol round now by Mad Army, and 11-2 right now. What can they do?
My God, I really don't know, because look at that. The post-plant positions from Mad Army. Look at the bricks on the floor. Look at how they position themselves. It's solid construction. You got 1 player over by Generator. You got 2 just somewhat underneath Hell. And anytime someone decides to peek, anytime someone decides to maybe even drop, you are dead. No chance at a comeback right now, but we still want to believe. They've got the sheriffs, and we know how accurate Gwen could be. It's just a matter of positioning herself in for these plays, but look at how quick Mad Army are going into this. They're so confident that they just dash in. They call out that the site is clear. Where are the big side players? They're all in towards market, in towards defender spawn. They cannot stop this plant from happening, and because of that space, Anko's going to go in and abuse this. She's looking for the frag now, and she's good for 2. She's good for 3! Looking for the last one, and that's Crescent. Are you going to survive this? Maybe for now, but Muffin takes you down with even more Spectre shots. 12-2, and we are at match point.
That was such a quick push there by Mad Army, and they're not letting go of that W key. Look at this. Anko just gets the first one, gets the second already, and how she is able to just readjust her crosshair was just beautiful there. And this is going to be what match point now for Mad Army with how quick they're taking the sites. Big has to go big here in terms of their defense. Maybe they need to be able to stack up one side and then play for the retake towards the other, but it's going to be Anko again with that quick kill towards Yomori. No more jet for the team of Big. But while all of that is happening, Baby TZ and Muffin, they're creeping their way in towards this B site, and that's going to be what? A leer here by Anko to support this
Oh my
entry.
God.
Polly, she is gonna control the flank, gets one, but Crescents and Hisoka gets already kills of their own as well. It's going to be a 3v3. Muffin is just holding a Spectre, but I think it's going to be enough. Right now, Muffin has changed to that Vandal. She dashes away to
Spike planted.
safety, but at least they know where the players of Mad Army are. They're playing this safe right now, Quack, and they really want to get this win already.
I know, right, Donut? I mean, we talk about donuts, but this one doesn't have a single hole in it because look at all of these Nebulas. They've got the Nano Storms as well, and as soon as they try to make a move, here comes the Gravity Well. This could be it, though, because Chase U is nailing her shots. Hisoka's helping her out as well. The Shock Dart comes in, and they've gotten Baby TZ down to half HP. All she needs is one more shot. She goes in with a swing, but Baby TZ has the angle, the Spectre at close range, and the headshot to close this out. Oh my god.
Wow, what was that game? Mad Army just going mad in terms of the pushes towards its site. I mean, even when they were defending, the crossfire set up by Muffin and Anko and as well as Sinyu, they're just beautiful in the A site. They just really let go of the B site for Baby TZ because they know that they can just play the retake game. But in terms of those attacks, they never really had restraint at all. They just went forward. They just used their raw skill in terms of getting those kills, and that was just Big Scythe Reaper to the head in terms of that scoreline. But yes, there is still a chance for Icebox because Big Scythe, they have a chance when in terms of the win rates, they do it well in Icebox. But given the performance of Mad Army, they have to reset. They have to have that confidence to take on those duels against Anko, Muffin. I mean, that was just such a beautiful first map against the two.
Exactly, and that's the keyword right there. I love that you said that. Confidence. I think that is what Big Scythe needs. It seems like, yes, they say respect all, fear none. Maybe they don't really fear Mad Army all that much, but they're giving them way too much respect. They need the confidence to go in for those duels. They need the confidence to, play off of the space that they actually create. So many times on their attacking side of Ascent, we see them actually able to bait the rotations out, for example, or maybe push in towards market and flush the Mad Army players back in towards really defensive positions. But even after they create all that space, even after like a Paranoia shoots out, they don't push. They're scared. They're trying to get that opening pick, but when you go in for these really linear angles against players from Mad Army, if you don't give yourself some kind of a tactical advantage, it's really difficult for you to win that. I mean, talk about Wild West, the sheriff shots, the muffins with the operators, everything is just gonna mow you down. So they really need something different here, and Icebox could be the map to do it, and I certainly hope so. But that's all we have for now. We're going to move into our quick break, and I don't know if the folks at home caught this earlier. We had that Secret Lab code. There's a giveaway going on, so if you really want your hands on one of these nice leather chairs, you got to keep your eyes peeled for that. I mean, Donut's sitting on one right now. Look at that in the background.
Well, yes, and we've heard already the casters, but we'd like to hear, of course, the desk as well. But before we get into the analysis for map number 1 and the predictions for map number 2, we'll just go into a short break, and we will be right back.
Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Bank, 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 bank. Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank.
Hi guys, welcome back to the desk. After Mad Army absolutely made short work of a big Scythe in that map number 1. Guys, what do we think? Were we expecting that at all? I mean, we were expecting them to win, but were we expecting them to go that hard, just straight out of the gate?
Well, Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Jaeger.
Donut. It's fine. No,
Oh my god. No, I think I really said that Big Scythe could win Ascent because of course, the stats that we've seen earlier. We know that they've won a couple of rounds and games in Ascent, but it was just Mad Army's raw skill that they were up against. So it was unexpected of me to say that, but well, Jaeger said it was gonna be a 2-0. So Jaeger, what can you say about this?
uh, like my feelings and thoughts, I feel like they've been fortified, right? Baby TZ, a 4.4 KD on 19 kills. That's the only amount of kills you need to get that KD. And Crescents came closest with 1.5 on 18. That's some good kills to have, but the scoreline speaks for itself. And just the way that Mad were playing, they were playing very individual. I don't know how seriously they were taking it. I saw Anko just pushing mid by herself as a raid on the defender side. Like, no fear whatsoever. She doesn't need anyone behind her to go for those refrags. Before her teammates had even rotated into B short and in through B main, she was just pushing mid by herself and getting like multi-kills. And even when she runs out of ammo, that's when her teammates chime in. And like, I don't even know if they were trying to protect her or if they just want to get kills for themselves, because they're all playing individually. Even their ults, they don't sync their ults. They use them for individual pushes. And at the end of the day, Mad were winning every aim duel. They won both the pistol rounds, and they just won every aim duel that came their way. All those kills that went in favor of Big, they came from either positions that are already too late. Like we saw how many times we see Yamori have some great individual frags. Not so much with the operator, she missed a lot of those shots you expected to hit, but with the Phantom in hand, she was winning a lot of those fights. And but they were always in like the position where it's like she was in a 1 versus 5. You know, it's like all these kills come after the point where it's just too late. They do manage to find the 2 rounds, but it's hard to build on there, because what really it came down to was, I feel like, individual skill, just a little more practice on the aim maps, and just trying to get your skill level up there, because every single shot that came out from Anko, from Muffin, from Polly, from Baby TZ, they were headshots, and they were amazing flicks, and those flicks were never over aiming in any way, shape, or form. And we saw Big trying to do some of the stuff that we saw Nigma doing, which was staying together in a group and pushing together, even getting aggressive. Once we saw like those 2 rounds we saw on that defender side, we saw them getting really aggressive. And it didn't work out for them because they didn't have that same level of skill that Nigma brought to them, as well as Mad was playing perfectly against that. They were pushing in every position when they were on the defender side because they want to take that map control back as well. That's something Nigma was doing as well. And yeah, Big Scythe, they can try and play just like Nigma, but they have to have all those chops with them as well to make it convincing.
Yep, I mean, baby TZ, baby girl with that 4.4 KDA, and also as you guys were talking about during the game as well, just how aggressively Mad Army were playing that. We could see that even after the swap as well. I think after the swap, they were like, you know what, we've got this one in the bag. We're just gonna pad our KDAs, have some fun, roll with it. And I just love seeing that type of aggressive play style. However, the fact that we're going into Icebox over on map number 2, it's kind of a map where if you're not careful, pushing out aggressively can get you punished. Do we think that that's an opening where Big Scythe might be able to try and come back in this series and try and punish Mad Army for that? Or how do we feel about this next map 2 pick? Maybe Donut, you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, this is gonna be scary because this is selected by Mad Army, and Big Scythe lost their map of Ascent to Mad Army with a 13-2 scoreline. And given this, I think Mad Army really did choose this for a reason, because of course they're relying on the aim duels. As you mentioned, they've been winning all of these duels, and if again Anko plays as that Reyna, this is gonna be quite scary because they're gonna hold these very, very off angles, and that's what Big Scythe, they need to be able to play with their utilities, play with maybe the owl drone here by Chaziu, and use all of the TPs here by Crescents to gain that higher angle to go up against Mad Army. And Muffin and as well as Anko, they're gonna be sticking to the agents that they wanted. Well, we expected to see a little bit of a Yoru here by Mad Army, so it's going to be distracting plays by Anko, but they just resorted to what they were good at for the map of Ascent.
Select
And
your
looking
agent.
at this though, I mean, Crescents is gonna opt for that Omen. So they're going for that double controller setup, which is going to be helpful for them in terms of their defense and their offense. But right now, it's the aggression by Mad Army. They're going mad here by having that double duelist setup.
All right, real quick, Jace, before we toss it back to Quack, how are you feeling about this one? We still feeling that 2-0 to Mad Army for the series?
I mean, that first game spoke for itself, that's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. Well, here to bring you guys map number 2, we'll see if Big Scythe can win this one to bring things to a map number 3. We've got Kentril. Hey, I'm Quack, back at casting the games for us. Guys, take it away.
Oh my god, Jace. It just goes in and like the first map speaks for itself. Enough said. I mean, what are we thinking, Donut? Is that really how it's gonna be?
Well, they can be the Grim Reaper. They may have lost the first map, but there is still a chance for them to maybe bring back to life what they've lost in the map of Ascend, especially here in Icebox. There's a lot to give in terms of the utilities, having that double controller setup, especially with Crescents as that Omen. She can use all of those Shrouded Steps for her own. Like, as mentioned by Jaeger earlier, it was really more of the utilities by Mad Army used for their own selves and not really used for other people, and maybe that's what they need to do as well in terms of responding to that aggression. But right now, going into Icebox, a very heavy dual map, what do you think the team of Big Scythe can do here, especially during the pistol round?
I mean, I love what you've been saying so far because I like that double controller setup that they've got. It really could do wonders for them if the Shrouded Steps, maybe even from the shadows, to throw Mad Army off of positions. But right now, we've seen how sharp they can be, that raw skill that we were all hyped up about. They go in, and they go in hard. You already have Muffin up towards A, and that baits out the wall from the Sage player, Gwen. And right now, this is something that Mad Army's known to do. They often leave players just because of their raw individual skill to go off on adventures on their own. Anko somehow creeped up on the B side in the whole duration that was happening. And just like that, space has been created. They managed to take this site down, and now the spike has been planted. You got 3 players left on Big Scythe, and they are confused. Like, when did they get here? And now they're looking for the heads, but unfortunately the shots won't connect once more. It's going to be Crescents, the last player alive, and she will not be able to do all that much. But at the very least, she denies that secret lab flawless from Mad Army. Still as labored as that can be. They have still won the first round, and that is why they're going into this with upgraded weapons. You got the Spectres, you got 2 Sheriffs, but what am I seeing? Do my eyes deceive me? Polly went in for an Ares, which could be... Is it an Ares or is it a Guardian? I think it's an Ares. No, it's a Guardian! It's a Guardian! Oh my god. She has been sharp, and she could be even sharper. And I don't like what I'm about to see. My duck brain is gonna disconnect pretty soon because I'm gonna be stunned and dazed. Look at what's happening. They just go off the zip lines and instantly it becomes a bloodbath. Chase, she's looking to put a stop to this off the off angle, but it's not gonna happen regardless. Polly, the triple kill. 2-0, just like that. So quick. And Big Scythe, I mean, you see that clip on Twitter. They're pretty soon they're going to be like me, just staring into the distance like, what just happened? What just happened on this site? I really don't know. But this is incredibly difficult for Big Scythe, but the one thing that they've got going for them now is that this is the bonus round. They've got the full buys. Maybe they just might be able to...
That's the second round already for the team of Mad Army, and that's going to be a worry having that first kill against Sydney. So no more controller for the side of Mad Army, but there's still a lot at stake here because there are still 4 members remaining for Mad Army, and that's going to be Crescents getting a kill of her own. So no more Muffin in the picture right now. So Anko, she's just going to try and peek, maybe to check if there's somebody pushed up already towards B lobby. But they have to make do with all of these weapons that they have now. Because Baby TZ has a Marshall and as well as Anko, but Polly is the one holding that Guardian. But here, the team of Big, they're set up for these crossfires, which can really help them out in terms of really responding to the aggression that Mad Army can do here. So with that recon ball, 3 people have already been spotted out, and that's gonna be Anko getting that. And all that has to be done is the kills here by
30
Anko.
seconds left.
She knows where Crescent is because she gave away her position using that paranoia. And what else can...
Oh my god!
Anko gets that kill, but also the fourth one gets Hisoka. What? That was just a slow push. That was a save, a bonus round by Mad Army, but they still got that win.
It's one of those things, one of those days you think you could peek, but Anko just watches the angle. I mean, look at this instant flick, already expecting Hisoka to peek from screens. It's just incredible game sense, but at the same time, sharp aim, sharp marksmanship that makes Anko the duelist that she is, top fragging almost all the time in all of FSL's games with Mad Army in them. And right now, you see this raw individual skill. It's the same plan again. Anko lurking, roaming around the map in towards A. The rest of her squad towards the B site. Some kind of a distraction, perhaps, if Big Scythe actually rotates off of A and Anko calls it clear. This could be devastating, but thankfully they've got Crescents right now watching this with a judge. She gets the quick double, the rock of her team. The IGL as well. She wants to retrieve a weapon, I think, but knowing that Muffin is up on top of the boxes, she cannot repeat this angle. No, what are you doing, Crescents? Not like this. Muffin, the triple kill. And now B is open, A is open. Anko has just made a long round trip all over the map. Pretty soon gonna rendezvous with her team on the B site. Where is Hisoka in all of this? Trying to make her way past mid. Maybe going in for a flank. But just as she does that, Muffin turns around back and she gets the information. She might have fallen and might have donated a weapon over to Hisoka. This could be
30 seconds left.
a possible victory for Hisoka if she takes these duels.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a duel won there by Anko. She was just holding that position because she knows that Hisoka, she only has one part of the map that she can come from. So that patience game there by Anko, she just really wanted to secure that round and get that kill. But this play from Crescent, just by using the judge, she also gets 2 given that situation. But the peak though, she peaked with a judge and long range. That was just the disadvantage. But at least Hisoka, she made it. She tried to turn this around, but that was just not enough. And Mad Army going mad again here with a 4-0 scoreline. Quack. It's gonna be hard to retake these because Muffin, in terms of her aggression, she's gonna maybe.
Oh no!
She knows, she has an inkling. The Crescent is there. She's gonna get checked by that drone. But right now, at least there wasn't a tag, and Crescent actually lives by this round still.
Well,
It comes down to Yamori with her operator peeking out of that poison orb. She takes Anko down. The star duelist gone, and that might change things. But Hisoka going in for that flank, unfortunately, a little bit too early. She gets spotted out, so we're back into this 4v4 situation. The entire site still contested. Gwen tries to peek it, and unfortunately gets shut down. And there it is, the Viper's Pit coming out. This is her domain now. No way Big Scythe comes into this. They have to find a way, though, because the spike has been planted. And right now, Crescent's getting taken out could be devastating. They have an operator. They have a Vandal. At this point, I might just save. But they go back in for the duels. Unfortunately, Yamori gets taken out, so operator gone. And Chase wants to fully commit into this. Doesn't have any utility to work with, though. Walks into the Viper's Pit, and Sinye has laid the trap, but unfortunately she pulled off the knife! Oh my god, headshots! She's looking for the next, but Polly with the swing! Just snuffs that light out, 5-0. No hope at all, not for the time being for Big Scythe.
Yeah, the pick-off there by by Yamori was just beautiful, but that was just enough because the rest of the members of Bad Army, they were creeping through that site already. And given that Viper spit, that slowed down Chaziu for that clutch. I mean, she did find Sinye there, but it wasn't just enough because there was Polly, ring around the rosy. She just won that duel. And it's a 5-2-0 now, and there is going to be a technical pause, but looking at how the team of Mad Army are pushing towards the site, they've tried A over and over again. They've found success even during the post plants because they only had a few casualties going into the side of A, so they want to continue. But given where they currently are in the minimap, I feel like they do want to change it up a little bit because I mean, going A for what, 3 straight rounds already is gonna be quite readable for the team of Big Scythe.
Well, they did stack up on A, and they left 2 of their stronger players on the B side. You got Hisoka, you got Yamori. But again, it comes down to control, right? Because as soon as they get no information, they back off. And right now, that allows for Mad Army to push up front. At the same time, you hear Muffin floating all over the place. She's got her Blaze Storm up, and that signals the Big Side that this is dangerous. You got to be careful, because even with the toxic screens, with her height vantage, she could actually take players out. That's why she's updrafting all over the place. Yamori is trying to do her best to watch for these angles. You hear the knives coming out, but they're the ones from Muffin, and she's able to take Crescents down. With her knives still, unfortunately, this time running out.
Spike planted.
It's going to be down to the fact that they have the spike planted. Post-plant positions are getting readied as well. You got Scythe with one more snake bite. Pretty soon it's going to fall in by a lot of time. Not to mention, Chase Yu is the only player left, and she's behind that Sage wall. You hear this coming, the footsteps in Anko! What a disgusting backstab!
I mean, they've always been doing this. The team of Mad Army, they just go around and backstab the people, but this was just a literal backstab with a knife there. I think I heard Anku say, "Okay, wait, I'm just behind her. I'm trying to get a knife kill. Just wait, distract her at the moment." And she did get that. So that's gonna be what, a morale, a little bit of a morale down now for the team of Big Scythe. Because, you know, if you get knifed, that's a little bit of a confidence damper. So now it's going to be Yamori trying to aggress towards pipes, but that Viper spit at least gives her cover to safely back away. But they're not backing down, even though there's going to be this Viper spit, a big chunk of green. There's still gonna be Muffin pushing through with that judge. And right now, they're getting these kills with just menial weapons. And Quali, they're not gonna stop at all. Muffin's just gonna push here, using that. Gonna be backed up here by Akko as well. But at least Chaziu and Gwen get a kill of their own. Chaziu is gonna get healed up as well. They have the res available, but that's gonna be Baby TZ with a Sage. Vandal Sage gets 1 kill with an operator and a classic drive-by. Mad Army, they're going strong in this map of Icebox, 7-0 right now, Quack.
You can't allow that. You just cannot. The way she's able to jump off with the classic and then the right click, what is happening right now? Big Scythe, they had it. They had their guns, they had the Viper's Pit, but I'm not sure why they were just up in these forward positions, which kind of made them go into these duels against Mad Army, and then they just keep losing them, and they lose control over the site. It's so difficult for them to hold on to this. And right now, I can see what and appreciate what they're trying to go for here, but leaving the A side completely open just means that they might have to go for a full retake. At the same time, Baby TZ still with her operator. She's starting to turn this into her realm. You got 3 kills already, and then the 4th. Is it gonna be the ace? Yes, it is. Baby TZ with the intel ace on her operator, no less. The Battle Sage.
Didn't need to go towards the side because Baby TZ, she was holding down the flag with that operator, and look at this, so beautiful with these shots. And even though Yamori pushed up already, what, she still got that ace, and that's gonna be another. That's gonna be a confidence boost now for Mad Army, because Baby TZ, she was just always the killjoy, that sentinel in the map of Ascent. But right now, as that Sage, she's proving to be the battle Sage for the team of Mad Army, and she's mad with that operator. Muffin doesn't have to hold it anymore because they just gave it to Baby Teasy because Baby Teasy is feeling it.
And that's just the ingredients, the secret chemical X of the Mad Army roster. Each and every player with the full ability and potential to step up to the plate, they rely on raw individual skill. There is no IGL, or at least that is what they say. And it just shows how strong they can be. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but right now we are at an 8-0. What is happening? At the same time, for Big Scythe, they do have an IGL, and I kind of want to see that happening. It's Crescent. She has stated before, I mean, in the FSL overtime interview, Hisoka mentioned that Crescent was the leader for their team, the rock, the one that keeps them positive, the one that tells them to keep their mental aspect running and not in a state where they feel like giving up. And that's why I feel even with those aces, even with a knife kill, they are mad, they are angry, and they want to take this fight back to them. That's why you're seeing Yamori watching the angles. The one thing is, though, that they need to land their shots. They need to be able to take these duels, because if they lose them, they're going to lose the side again. So here it comes. Hisoka is able to find a trade. Yamori towards the back of the site, watching the angles, spots out Muffin, but unfortunately with the dash away, it makes it all that much difficult to hit them. Sinye coming in from the other side as well, and all of a sudden, Chase You gets taken out. It's gonna be all down to Hisoka, who was on the B side. She tries to land the spray, goes in for the burst now, thankfully recovers, but she's down to 30 HP. 1v3 scenario, and 7 rounds in the chamber. Probably has to reload or at least find another weapon, but just as soon as we were considering that fact, you got Sinye coming in from another location, 9-0. And I still don't want to believe what is happening, but this is very, very labored for Big Scythe. You might just see a 12-0 first half.
Yeah, I mean, with how they are trying to push towards A, I mean, all of them, they're looking at different angles. So each of the positions that the team of Big Scythe are holding, they get the kills, they get and win those duels. So that's gonna be really scary now for Big Scythe, because they've tried aggressing towards A. Yamori did so earlier, but it wasn't just enough. But at least Yamori gets a kill towards angle. No more Reyna for the side of Mad Army. But the rest of the team members, they're still gathered up towards A, but they're deciding to really just back out and play this safe. They're just really trying to see if there will be that push, and that res is online for the team of Mad Army. Brings it back to a 5v5 right now. But there are still five more people for the team of Big, but this is going to be a big push here by Team Army. Because Sinye gets a kill, but Yamori gets another headshot towards Muffin. But this push, will it be delayed here by Yamori? Not so, because the plant is down. And the post-pat positions of the team of Mad Army, they're very powerful as Baby Teasy gets that kill. Yamori, though, gets another Sheriff kill, but Baby Teasy shuts her down. And it's going to be Justice of the remaining, but Polly against the Sheriff gets a classic kill.
Oh my god, that is so unfortunate. Even with all the heroics from Yamori, I mean, take a look at this. Just incredibly sharp stuff with the Sheriff. She's able to flick back down, take Anko away, but as soon as that happens, you got all these players from that army, because they're just that confident. They go in for the repeats. You got Baby Teasy with the operator. She knows she can land that shot. Whatever you try, you got it's like they're a Hydra, you know what I mean? You take off one head, 2 more come out. And that's why it's just so darn difficult for Big to make a single play happen. But thankfully this time Yamori with her operator, she's mad. She wants to take them down. She's able to delete Sinye, and without the controller, that just might be the key.
Yeah, and this is going to be what a careful push because Muffin has already pushed up towards yellow. And I don't think that Yumori knows this. And if Muffin
What?
gets this kill, then this is gonna be
No
the
way.
B side open, but at least Isuka, she's gonna shut down Muffin. But Baby TZ again with those operator kills. She just never misses. And what's missed, of course, is Yomori as she is brought back to life here by that Sage. And Polly and Baby TZ, 2 against 4. They made it happen before in the map of Ascent, and they still can because Baby TZ with that operator and Polly again.
Standing ahead.
They're just reading big like a book.
Oh my
And they
god.
made it down to a 2v2 right now, and I think nobody wants to flank because right now Baby TZ is just so stellar with that operator. And what? They each have positions that they are guarding, but the duels
Last
are
round in
very,
the half.
very much won by Mad Army Big. It was a 4v2, and that was just all put to waste. Even that resurrection there, they got 6 kills that round, and it wasn't necessarily utility that was used very wisely, because each time that they peek, Baby TZ and as well as Polly, they die to the crosshairs.
Exactly, right, Donut? I mean, it's even if they die, it's a-okay. Mad Army, you got all these different players. You got Muffin going in with the entries, and right now Yomori trying to put a stop to this with her knives. She's able to take Anko down, but there it is, the instant trade. Crescent gets taken out, and along with that, maybe just a bit of your stalling ability. Thankfully, they've got the Viper, they've got the Sage, so they can hold it for a little bit further. The Hunter Spear just makes it all that much more difficult. You're cutting off the rotations. No way they push past screens with that Hunter Fury, and now the Viper's Pit getting deployed. Yomori trying to find a head, but there it is. You just got to deal with Muffin. She's looking for those flicks, but Yomori dancing all over the battlefield. She's trying to sting like a bee, but it's just not meant to be. Not today. Polly, she's turning this into a 12-0. Is this the dream, Donut? Is this the dream?
Match
This
point.
is a very big dream for Mad Army. We really wanted Big to go big here in the map of Icebox, but because Mad Army chose this, I think they chose this for a reason. Imagine, during the attacking rounds, the last one, both Baby TZ and Muffin were holding operators. How could you do that? How can you be attacking and holding 2 operators for the team? But they make it work. Their duels are just won every time, and this is going to be scary now for Big because what? It's match point. They're now attacking not unless there is that magic here for the team of Scythe. They're gonna use the Reaper now. They're gonna use their Scythe to take off the heads, but is it gonna be enough? Because they're just 1 round away from dropping to the lower brackets.
That's right, just 1 round. And they're on the attack. It's so much more difficult because of that fact. And Muffin, off angle, off the head. They're trying to make the A splits happen, but
enemy remaining.
it's just too
Spike down
blind.
mid.
They're walking in, trying to expect that they will get the headshots. Chase is good for 2, but that is it.
Defenders
13-0. It actually happened. It's these micro decisions, I think, because you're seeing Big Scythe go in for the duels time and time again. They need some kind of advantage. You can't just try to peek and out-aim the Mad Army players. No, you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah, you can. I mean, they tried at least to use the recon bolts to try and catch them off guard, but they don't just care. I mean, that last round of the half, wherein the team of Mad Army had 2 operators up their sleeves, but they still managed to push through that site using the Viper Spit to their advantage and just holding those angles that aren't within the perimeter of the pit. Wow, that was just a good hold for the team of Mad Army and how they really pushed out to each of the sites that they wanted to take. They managed to make unwinnable situations winnable by just their raw skill and aim.
Exactly, right? There was that round where they were up against like, what, 2v4, and just by, I guess, sheer determination, wit and will or something along those lines. I forgot the John Wick quote, excuse me. They they played around Yellow Box, and they were really, really careful about how they approach the site. Every single peek they make it's going to be a bit of a jiggle. They're trying to find those duels. They're trying to get info before they commit. And I think that's what sets them apart from Big Scythe, at least for now, because I still want to believe in the Big Scythe girls. They are down in the lower bracket, but they are not out of the tournament. So there is still hope, but you know, it's one heck of a debut for the Mad Army into its FSL Elite. This is their first series, and the second map is what, a 13-0? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was just Mad Army. I mean, they were just, what, 5 of them really shining out through all of the rounds in Icebox. I mean, Icebox might be a very, very icy map, but they were cold in terms of their aim. They were cold against the team of Big Scythe. And I loved what you said about John Wick, because this might be the story of Big Scythe, because they have to get revenge now in the lower brackets, because they were torn down by the team of Mad Army. And revenge, is that what they will get moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So who knows? Maybe, you know, it's one or two things, right? Either you get hurt and your confidence is dampened, or you get really upset and you start to do all the work and you put in all that effort that you need to come back and make your way all the way through the lower bracket. It could happen, but whatever it is, the Indonesian fans need to support their team right now because they need it more than ever. But for now, what we casters need is a little bit of a break, because what's next is the winner's interview. So for those of you watching at home, do not turn away your monitor, do not close your tab, because along with the prizes that we've got for FSL, we've also got a nice little prize for you, a giveaway for Secret Lab. That's right, the chairs that we are sitting on right now. I love the camera angle that Donut has, because it clearly shows the Secret Lab logo. After this, during the break, we're going to have that QR code. We're going to have a little code. Make sure to key that in, fill up the form, and read the terms and conditions, because you never know. I don't know. Some rules may or may not apply, but you can stand a chance at winning one of these sweet, sweet chairs. And along with it, at the same time, we've got a promotion for Nanoleaf right up here. They're really cool. I mean, Ray Richards probably going to explain it at some point, but basically they have a lot of different features. You could sync them to go with your voice, like a voice meter type thing. It's really cool stuff. But right now, they're keeping our lights on. So huge shout outs to our sponsors, along with Yahoo and Intel as well. But that is it for now. We're going to go for our quick break. Grab some lunch, guys. We will be right back after this. still has hers. And now last player remaining is going to be Baby TC with a shorty. She gets the one. She gets the double. Oh my.
So this is gonna be creepy. Not unless they peek all together, all three of them. It's going to be that situation. But that well.
Oh, she hears those footsteps. There it is.
And she knows somebody's towards that lane, but
What?
Echo gets the second
Spike
over
down mid.
against Chazu. So no big here as well with that Blade Storm. But she knows she gets the head of
Come on, yes!
Gets the second with Baby TC there.
Abuse this. She's looking for the frags now. And she's good for 2. She's good for 3. Their shots. Hisoka's helping her out as well. The shock dart comes in and they've gotten Baby TC down to half HP. All she needs is one more shot. She goes in with a swing, but Baby TC has the angle. The Spectre.
Paranoia. And what else can...
Oh my god.
Echo gets that kill. But oh,
Devastating, but thankfully they've got Crescents right now watching this with a judge. Open, I think, but knowing that Muffin is up on top of the boxes, she cannot.
healed up as well. They have the res available, but that's gonna be Baby TZ with a
What?
Sage. Battle Sage gets one kill with an
To go
operator.
full retake. At the same time, Baby TC still with her operator. She's starting to turn this into her realm. You got 3 kills already, and then the 4th. Is it gonna be the ace? Yes, it is. Baby TZ with the. They're trying to make the ace blitz happen, but it's just too blind. They're walking in, trying to expect that they will get the headshots. Chase is good for 2, but that is it. 13-0. It
Hi guys, welcome back to the desk for the Valorant Champions Tour Game Changers Southeast Asian Series FSL Day number 1. It's us, your host January Julie, your analysts Jace and Donut. Guys, Mad Army, they did not show up to play today. I mean, we thought they came out strong in map number 1 with that 13-2, and then they delivered that absolute shellacking with the perfect 13-0 map on Icebox. Guys, what do we think?
Like, what can you even say? You can't even analyze Big Scythe because it was literally the same thing from the first map, just like on a second level. The Angels weren't going their way. The amount of map control Mad Army can find with it looks effortless the way they take all that map control, and time again we just saw them being absolutely dominant. There was no way for Big Scythe to really fight back in a lot of those situations. They gave it their absolute best. They're a great team, but Mad Army, they're just on another level right now, and I'm super excited to see them as they move into the next phase of this bracket as well, because, oh my goodness, the amount of games we have coming up are just going to be amazing. Big Scythe, they move on to the lower brackets, and they can definitely fight their way back into it. You can see a lot of potential with their strats. The strats are really smart in a lot of these situations. It's just the execution just doesn't come into play, and so nice tries across the board there. We saw a couple of signs of life coming in. Hisoka, Yamori, Chase you as well. We saw some really good plays, but just not enough to topple Mad Army. They got even better from the first game. Look at that, from 13-2 into a 13-0, and the stats are still just as insane. And I feel like every team so far that we've had that's been dominant in those first couple of games, they've had that one player that steps up for them, and then as the rest of their teammates wake up going into that second map, everyone starts fragging out. And it's the same thing here as well. And I wonder if it's going to be the same thing going into our next matchup as well. Donut, what do you think?
Well, in terms of the performance, really, of Mad Army, it was... I mean, I'm speechless with how they tried to win out both of the maps. I mean, a 13-2 and a 13-0. That's our first score line with an egg against Mad Army. I mean, looking at this now as for the stats of Icebox, looking at what the KDA of Muffin, she has 17 kills, given that aggression as well, right? But of course, the rest of the team members, especially for BBTZ, look at her KDA, 7.3. A Battle Sage, she rarely died. She never really had to resurrect other people, just because, of course, she had that skill, but it wasn't necessary for the plays that we saw in the map of Icebox. And whenever they did try to use the utility, especially that resurrection, they never failed to utilize it fairly against the team of Big Scythe. But looking at, of course, the team of Big, Crescents as that IGL, she is also that MVP, but it wasn't just enough to try and counter the aggression of the team of Mad Army. They were the queens of Icebox here for the second map. but they did have a good performance as well, as you mentioned, Jace. We would want to see them really take that revenge against the team of Mad Army.
Yep, and
I
those
mean,
are some pretty impressive stats that we just saw over that one. Of course, the 13-2, 13-0. I mean, we predicted that it was going to be like a 2-0 or a 2-1, but I don't think we thought that it was going to be this fast and in such dominating fashion. Guys, I want to ask because we just saw Mad Army go 2-0 versus Big Scythe, and then earlier today, we also saw Enigma Galaxy with that 2-0 over Asteria. So tomorrow, I think in the round 2 for the upper bracket, it's kind of looking to be like the battle versus both these 2-0 teams. How do we think that Mad Army versus Enigma Galaxy will go? Because, I mean, I don't think either team really showed too much of their strategies today.
oh, that's a hard call. I think when you're looking between these two teams, you're thinking it really comes down to the strats and it comes down to the IGLs. And so, yeah, thinking about Mad Army versus Nigma, I'm leaning a little bit towards Nigma again because they have played Mad Army in the past, and when it comes to PH teams versus Thai teams generally, when they're playing on their home field, they always do super well, and I expect them to have a good performance as well coming up. But we've also seen our PH team fly over to Thailand and get their victories there as well. In terms of the strat calling tricks, I always lean towards tricks when it comes to IGLing because I feel like she has such a creative mind and a very fast adapting mind as well. That is one of the important things. The speed at which you can adapt to play styles and strats decides really how your game is going to go. And I think that she just has a mind that can think that much quicker. Mad Army, it's not like they're slouches either. They've got some great strats and counter strats as well for themselves and other teams. And in terms of individual skill, I think it's pretty even across the board, but I think we do have a couple more players on the side of Nigma that can frag out. You got 3 players that can frag out, whereas on the side of Mad Army, you do of course have Anchor, but you've got Baby Teasy, and then the rest sort of on a level playing field. So I am leaning towards Nigma, but just by a tiny bit. That could go either way.
On the flip side of this, of course, since we are playing in a best of 3 double elimination bracket with the top 8 teams, of course, Big Scythe still have a chance to make their way back up to the upper bracket through the lower bracket in tomorrow morning's first game. However, they're going to go up against VLT Asteria, who also lost in that 0-2. What do we think that these teams are going to need to improve on before tomorrow?
I think in terms of the resurgence of Enigma Galaxy, because we haven't really seen them play all throughout the Southeast Asian tournaments, but I think it was really the resurgence of Enigma Galaxy with that additional player Chloe that made them really unstoppable. But in terms of maybe reading the map, as well as Asteria did earlier in the first series, they were responding quite well as compared to how we saw Big Scythe respond to Mad Army. So I think in terms of what Jace mentioned, it's really important to have those creative strategies into play because okay, if you do have those default strats, it's gonna be easily countered if you have that creative leader within the team. And maybe that's not necessarily what we saw for both of the teams, Asteria and Big Scythe. But I think now they have awoken from that sleep of a 0-2, right? So they have to really wake up. They have to get their energy up and running coming into the next few matches that they'll encounter.
Alright guys, here for our post-match winner interview, we've got the MVP herself. It's Muffin from Mad Army. Muffin, hi, welcome. Hello, and also hello to Honey Hiromi, who's very kindly going to be helping us translate for the interview. Muffin, of course, congrats on the 2-0 today. My first question is, how are you feeling right now, and did you expect to go 2-0 over Big Scythe?
ยังไงก็อย่างแรกขอแสดงความยินดีด้วยนะน้องมัฟฟินที่ชนะเกมวันนี้น้องมัฟฟินรู้สึกไงที่วันนี้ชนะขาดสักขนาดนั้นอะได้คาดคิดไว้ไหมว่าจะชนะได้ขาด
I
Okay. She didn't really expect she was gonna win it this hard today, but she said she tried her best, she did her best, and that's what they got.
Well, I mean, their best was definitely a treat to watch. It's definitely a pleasure for all of us back home as well. I wanted to ask because Muffin picked up the MVP for the last series. I wanted to ask if there's any type of friendly rivalry on the team between like who gets MVP during the game. Do they ever like, tease each other about that?
มีการแบบชิงแข่งกันหรือเปล่าน้องแบบว่าตอนที่แบบใครจะได้ MVP ใครจะเก่งกว่ากันหรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยแบบเล่นๆแบบกันแบบเป็นเพื่อนกันอ่ะมีหรือเปล่าคะ
ก็ไม่มีค่ะแต่ก็แข่งกันจริงนะ
อ๋อ
ไม่อยากเป็นว่าต้องแข่ง
Oh, okay. So they don't really try to like outshine each other as much, but they all try to not be the bottom frag. That's all.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's gotta be pretty tough. Even bottom frag on Mad Army is just absolutely insane in terms of ACS. I wanted to talk a bit more about the roster for you girls, especially because this time for FSL Elite, you're playing with a sub, and also next week, I believe you will be having Ginny playing with the team. So I wanted to ask just how the team usually trains and practices with this 6-member squad, what it's like to have a substitute, and also how do you guys just take turns?
ก็อยากจะถามว่าน้องสลับตำแหน่งกันยังไงว่าแบบตอนนั้นเป็นจินนี่ใช่ไหมแล้วตอนนี้กลายมาเป็นคนอื่นแทนแล้วคือน้องคุยกันยังไงในทีมเรื่องการใครจะมาแข่งใครจะสลับทางไหนใครจะเป็น substitute ใครจะเป็นคนที่มาเล่น
พอดีตัวของฟินจะเป็นดูเอลเป็นตัวหลักอยู่แล้วค่ะที่พี่จินได้มาเล่นเป็นดูเอลเพราะว่าเขาอยากเล่นออฟก็เลยเปลี่ยนตำแหน่งให้เขาไปเล่นเจ็ตก็เลยสลับตำแหน่งกันได้หมดทุกคนเลยค่ะทุกคนเล่นได้ทุกตัว
She said in reality she's the duelist main of the team, but since Ginny wanted to use the op, that's why she played Jet. Apparently the whole team knows how to play every single agent.
Well, that's definitely really interesting, and also we just also like to see how some of the roles get switched around when the team does play with other members. I wanted to look forward to your next match because it will be versus Galaxy Racer, who also went 2-0 earlier this morning. How do you think that Mad Army will do versus GXR tomorrow?
รู้สึกไงกับตอนที่เห็น GXR แข่งแล้วชนะขาดอย่างนั้นพรุ่งนี้น้องรู้สึกว่าน้องจะทำได้หรือเปล่าน้องรู้สึกไงเก่งหรือเปล่า
รู้สึกว่าไม่เก่งค่ะเพราะว่าทีม GXR เป็นทีมลูกศิษย์
โอ้โหเขาบอกว่าไม่เก่งพูดอย่างนี้เลยเหรอ She said she's not scared at all. They're like her under let's not say it. So you know what I mean.
We
right?
get it. I think we all understand what under means. That's great. I like the confidence.
They have confidence, yeah.
We love to hear it. I mean, lastly, before I let you girls go, for Muffin, can I ask what is the team's goal this time around for FSL Elite? Because historically, I mean, we've seen a couple of different iterations of the Mad Army roster, and there have been a whole bunch of player changes as well. But for this time around, now that the team is here at FSL Elite, what is the goal?
เห็นว่าสลับโรกันตลอดหรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยแต่ว่าเขาอยากรู้ว่าทีมน้องที่มาถึงณจุดนี้ใน FSL เป้าหมายคืออะไรคะ
หมายคือการที่เป็นแชมป์แล้วได้แบบชนะเซเลสอะ
She wants to be the champion and win Celeste.
All right, definitely. That will be a really exciting matchup. We can't wait to see that one happen. Thank you so much, Muffin, for the interview, as well as Hiromi for helping us to translate. And of course, congratulations to Mad Army for winning today's best of 3 and moving on to the upper bracket round number 2. Guys, we're going to go for a very short break before we come back for our next best of 3 series between Alter Ego Celeste and TC Arise. You don't want to miss a Celeste first match of FSL Elite, so go grab a snack, strap in, and we'll see all of you in just a bit. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Once Jenny leaves, the collective elo goes up even more. Oh. I'll talk over you.